God be with you. What do you need?
I've still got a few...
I've told you what I know.
How did you find out about the fire?
From the brothers who were meant to deal with the bodies. They came to fetch their tools, but then rushed back, saying no one was to go near the corpses.
Do you know this Elijah? Can you tell me anything about him?
He's a lay brother, so I reckon he spends most of the day working and joins prayers once a day like the others.
Alright, but what's he like? Grouchy, a fool, or a cheerful fella?
I treated him once for food poisoning. He was quite unpleasant then, but otherwise I never spoke with him.
And the other monks? Do they say anything about him?
They do, but I wouldn't put much faith in it.
Even gossip usually has a grain of truth in it. What have you heard?
He drinks heavily, and before he came here he drank away a fortune. He entered the monastery to quit, but it seems the drink's stronger than he is.
Right, I get it. Don't worry. I won't repeat it to anyone.
That's probably for the best.
That'll be all. Thanks.
God be with you.
You mentioned you know the herbalist, Joachim.
Don't think we're old friends or something of the like. We met once during my last visit to the monastery before my journey to Padua. When Zacharias mentioned him, I was glad to hear Joachim was still alive. He's growing a bit long in the tooth, you see.
So, you don't really know each other?
It's mainly my friend, Oswald Torvald, that knows him. He's the one that told me about Joachim originally. They've known each other for years, and though Joachim lacks a formal education, Oswald still learned much from him. They write to each other frequently, and he visited Joachim several times. But his work won't allow him to anymore.
I see. So what's this Joachim like?
He prefers to focus on his work rather than engage in conversation. Though when he does let someone get close, he can be friendly. And if you need help, he rarely hesitates to lend a hand.
Since we're spending time together, why don't you tell me more about yourself?
Sigismund Albrecht of Unichov, Doctor of Medicine of the Prague University and Doctor of Law of the Padua University. Personal physician and advisor to His Royal Highness King Wenceslas in matters of law and personal affairs alike. Though if you're interested in the specifics of my career, I'd recommend asking someone more knowledgeable who can appreciate the complexity of my journey from a bachelor's degree in the liberal arts to the royal court.
How did you come to treat King Wenceslas?
My talents and abilities speak for themselves. Not long ago, when I returned to Prague from Padua, word quickly got out that a capable physician had arrived. People started coming to me with all sorts of troubles. Then one day, the royal carriage stopped in front of my home. We rushed to Perglitz, where I found Wenceslas moaning in pain while his alchemists bathed him in various oils.
Which I reckon wasn't of much help.
Not in the slightest. But the treatment turned out to be quite simple. A diet. And its effects were near miraculous. Wenceslas has held me in close regard ever since. He soon learned I was learned in law as well, so I became his personal advisor. A few years ago, I was given a title for my services, as well as the particle of Unichov. As you can see, when you have the reputation of the best physician in the kingdom and knowledge of medicine and law alike, people seek you out on their own.
I hear you've written several books. What are they about?
About medicine. What else? I am most proud of the Compendium Medicinae, a summary of medical knowledge. I wrote it mainly for students and practitioners, but I'm also planning to write a book about health and how to keep healthy. It won't just be advice on how to survive the plague or treat a fever. It'll be a guide on how to live correctly and sensibly. What to eat, when to sleep, how to exercise, what to avoid. I believe that health is not a coincidence, but the result of a sensible lifestyle. Those who know and follow these rules won't need to visit the physician as often, which may be an unpleasant truth to some of my colleagues.
How is medicine in Italy different from Bohemia?
Massively. Though my local colleagues don't like to hear it. In Italy, especially in Padua, emphasis is placed on precise observation, analysis of causes and effects, and above all, prevention. Italians pay more attention to the connection between diet, environment, and health. Something I have tried to introduce here, albeit with limited success. Czechs are used to heavy, fatty foods and rely more on miracles than sensibility. Here, physicians are taken as a last resort. In Italy, a physician's word is law for daily life.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
God be with you.
It's pissing down again.
I'm investigating the source of that illness that's been spreading around here, and I could use your learned knowledge.
I'm listening.
I came across the symbol of the Kingdom of Jerusalem during my investigation, and I was wondering if you might have any records or anything that might be connected to it.
If memory serves, something should definitely be here. I even dabbled in it myself long ago. We have the legacy of a knight named Boleslav Bavor, who journeyed through the Holy Land and visited Jerusalem. There was some connection to the monastery crypt, if I recall.
Really? Because I actually came across it in the crypt.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I ran into some laborers down there. From what I gathered, they were trying to rob some of the graves, and they were looking for something tied to the Jerusalem cross.
By Christ, they were after the relic.
What are you talking about? What relic?
There's a possibility that Bavor was buried here along with a certain relic. That's what got me interested back then.
What sort of relic are we talking about?
I don't know exactly, but certainly something very rare. I believe it's linked to Jesus Christ himself, but I can't tell you for sure right now. It's been many years, and even back then I never found anything substantial apart from Bavor's records of his travels. In the end I concluded that the whole tale of the relic was likely just Bavor's own fabrication.
That's a shame. It was just starting to get interesting. Still, I'd very much like to have a look at the travel records, just in case.
I'll be glad to show them to you to examine, but first we must report those vile thieves to the abbot.
You're right. The abbot ought to be told, but it's probably not wise to burden him with it now. Right now, we need to deal with the illness. Once things have settled down, we can make sure those thieves get what they deserve. Besides, we've got almost no proof yet. If I manage to investigate the matter of Bavor more thoroughly, I might stumble on something.
Still, it's a serious thing. We mustn't wait too long.
Of course. Once I've gathered the evidence, I'll explain everything to the abbot straight away. And now I'd like to take a proper look at Bavor's travel records.
Of course. Give me a few moments. I'll find them for you. And I believe Bavor's name also appeared in some old accounts. I'll try to track those down too. Here you go. Bavor's travel records about his journey through the Holy Land. And I've also found these old accounts. Feel free to study them too.
So Bavor gave the monastery a generous donation and paid for a chapel mural painting. Let's take a look at the travel records. according to the journal, Bavor had himself buried here with his holy treasure. That sounds pretty clear. Then why did Crispin think the relic wasn't real?
Well, are you still so...
I read the journal. A lovely tale. It really brought the Holy Land to life.
And?
And it says the relic Bavor acquired was a splinter from the true cross of Christ.
Holy Virgin! Such a sacred treasure!
And according to the book, Sir Boleslav was to be buried with the relic in the monastery crypt.
So it says in the book. I also found my old notes and remembered how it all went back then. I too searched for Bavor's grave. I even dared venture into the crypt, but despite all my efforts, I never found it.
How is that even possible? A grave can't just disappear.
Quite frankly, I don't know. And I didn't know then either. Once I was convinced none of the graves belonged to Bavor, I laid the matter before the abbot, but not our father Jan. This was over 20 years ago when Abbot Vitus held office. May the Lord grant him eternal peace. Together we came to the conclusion that Bavor's tale was likely at least partly, perhaps entirely, made up.
Why would it be made up? Surely Sir Boleslav wouldn't lie about something so serious.
The book's one thing, but there's not a single other mention anywhere. The grave's missing, the relic's nowhere to be found. Can you think of another explanation, then?
The account books mention that Bavor had a sarcophagus made at his own expense.
That's possible. Does it mean anything?
If he paid for it himself, there had to be a reason. Masonry work like that is no small matter, and it's odd, isn't it? He sorted it all out in detail with the monastery to have his tomb here. Then he wasn't even buried here.
You're right. I never made that connection before.
And then there's the relic. If Bavor had just wanted to raise his reputation with a good story, why claim to have gained something so rare?
Perhaps out of vanity? There's no shortage of that among the nobility.
But his tale's already heroic enough without it. Making up a relic would only draw unwanted attention.
That's a good point. It'd be too risky.
But why would Bavor do that? What would he gain by deceiving everyone here?
If memory serves, he had some disputes over property. Maybe he wanted to improve his reputation.
Well, that's mentioned in the text. But lies wouldn't have helped him. Quite the opposite, if he'd been found out.
You'd be surprised how short-sighted some folk can be. But I agree, something about it doesn't sit right.
And what about the mural mentioned in the accounts? Does it really exist?
Yes, it's in one of the chapel naves. It depicts several scenes from Bavor's alleged adventures.
Well, then that proves Bavor's story wasn't just made up. Surely the abbot back then wouldn't have approved such a mural in the main church if he hadn't believed it was true.
If the former abbot believed Bavor wasn't a liar, but a real hero of the Holy Land, I'll believe him too.
All the more reason I want to see it for myself.
No harm in trying. At the very least, it's a fine piece of work.
Bavor mentions in his journal that he received a great fortune from the King of Cyprus, and the account records say he gave a generous donation to the monastery. Do you think that was made up too?
They confirm at best that Bavor had wealth, not where it came from. According to the late Abbot Vitus, he might have gained that fortune by plundering or as spoils of war. And the tale of the Holy Land was just a cover to mask the dishonorable origin of his riches.
Well, I've never been to the Holy Land, but I've seen plenty of wrongdoings, even here in Bohemia. And if Bavor really wanted to cover up how he got his coin, he could have built a village, built a fortress, or who knows, bought up a mine. He could have done any number of smarter things than spinning a tale about a heroic journey halfway across the world, don't you think?
I'm no expert in fraud, but yes, he chose a rather complicated cover-up if that's what it was.
The crypt has a hidden side chamber, you know.
Excuse me? What chamber?
It had been walled up. In one part of the crypt, the masonry was loose, so I managed to get inside.
I've never heard of anything like that. Perhaps even Abbot Vitus didn't know of it.
I'd say the abbot would definitely have known about something like that. He just didn't tell you. Maybe on purpose.
Where are you going with this?
I'm not sure. Just thinking out loud, really. Don't you think this whole thing is a bit too complicated? Every explanation for why Bavor would lie seems more convoluted than just acknowledging it's true.
Listening to you now, it's like hearing my younger self. And I sound exactly like Abbot Vitus. His view was that Bavor's story was fiction. He told me I'd be better off letting it go.
What exactly did he say?
That I should stop chasing old crusaders and focus on real, meaningful work.
Why didn't you stand your ground?
I couldn't argue with the abbot. What he said went. And I was just a lowly monk, barely past my vows. I had to obey. In time, I learned to let some things lie. Those who dig too deep may uncover what they'd rather not.
I'm not blaming you, but I think it's time we reopened that old inquiry of yours and saw it through. And maybe we'll finally unravel Bavor's mystery together.
If that relic really does exist, and it's surfaced now, it'd surely be a sign from the Lord, a sign of hope in these desperate times.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself. We've not even found Bavor's tomb. Without it, we're stuck.
But you spoke of that hidden chamber in the crypt. If there's any clue, it'll be in there. Take this and study it closely. It's a drawing of Bavor's family coat of arms I came across years ago. According to this, you'll know if it's truly the grave of Sir Boleslav. Yes, the mural in the chapel, paid for by Bavor himself, also bears his coat of arms.
Those workers, if they really were after Bavor, they only had a drawing of the Jerusalem cross. But if he was buried under his family crest, no wonder they opened the wrong graves.
Yes, that could be it. Study that sketch well, so you won't make the same mistake.
Thank you. I'll head off at once.
Just be careful, please. You know the abbot's orders, the disease, all this misfortune.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
And in the crypt, show respect to the eternal rest of those buried there, especially now, with death haunting the monastery.
There's a lot of you here. Which one of you is Elijah?
Shh! Keep your voice down. Elijah isn't here.
Do you know where Elijah is? I really need a word with him.
I'm not sure if he's still there, but I think I saw him heading to the cellar this morning. He looked rough.
Don't you know there's a quarantine?
I've had it up to here with this shit. Don't talk to me.
He's blind drunk. He can barely speak. Are you with me? I've got something to perk you up a bit.
What is it? Schnapps?
We're out of schnapps. So stop whining and drink.
Oh, bloody awful stuff.
So, feeling any better?
Better? I wish. Oh, it's all coming back to me.
That's good. I need to know what happened during the night.
I don't want to talk about it. Don't make me.
I get it. You don't want to remember. I've seen some nasty things too. But sometimes it helps to talk to someone. It's definitely better than drowning your wits in schnapps.
Well, all right. What do you want to know?
How did you even notice the fire? What were you doing outside?
I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. It was just chance.
Just chance? You sure? I don't think the abbot would be happy about folk wandering around at night.
So what if I took a little walk?
You sure you weren't sneaking off somewhere for a drink? You seem smart enough not to keep your booze where someone might find it. I bet you've got a nice little stash, eh?
All right. Maybe I did head off to the back pond for a nightcap. I heard a dog barking like mad, so I went to see what was going on. I should have just kept out of it.
Did you see anyone else at the fire?
No. Just the dog was there.
When you dragged out those two bodies, what did you do then?
While I was pulling out the second one, other people had noticed the fire. One of the knights grabbed me and started yelling that I was the arsonist. Luckily, he saw the bodies and how I was covered in, well, the same filth they were. Then the people from the monastery came. They sent me away and took the bodies off somewhere. I don't know what happened after that.
I need to ask about the dead, too. Did you notice anything odd about them?
I couldn't see much. It was as dark as a sinner's soul. But they were soaked. Soaked to the bone. And also, how to say it? Filthy. Both of them.
Filthy from what?
From shit.
Right. That can't happen after death.
No, I mean they were completely covered in it. Like someone had dunked them in it. Oh.
Are you sure they were already dead when you pulled them out?
Aye.
And may I ask how you knew?
When I carried them out, I thought I'd roast alive in seconds. But they were cold as ice. And one of them was already stiff as a board. When I laid him down, he just crunched. Oh.
Do you have any idea who those two were?
I've no idea. It was dark. I couldn't see their faces. Thank God. As it is, I'll be dreaming about this for a long time.
Thanks. I'll leave you be now.
Wait, I've no idea what to do with myself. I thought I'd finally do something right for once in my life. And how did I end up? Covered in shit, face burned, and humiliated. I'd rather never step outside the door again.
What are you on about? You acted like a hero.
Hardly. I'm a coward and a drunk.
Who ran into the flames to save his fellow man.
Aye. And what did it get me?
If not for you, they'd have burned to ash and wouldn't even have a decent burial. This way they can pass on with dignity. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and be a bit proud, alright?
Right. Thanks. Hey, look, I haven't told anyone, but I found this key during the night. I've no idea whose it is, but maybe you'll find it useful.
Thanks.
I'm sorry.
it is. Instead of pay, I reckon we'll get our arses kicked, and we'll be lucky if we get to leave in one piece.
You could have just said, the spikes are fucked up. Christ, you always...
Not much left of the shed. Elijah had more luck than sense. Overturned sacks, soaked ground. Looks like he dragged them this way. And he wasn't careful where he was going. A torch? Damn, this wasn't an accident. Someone torched the shed to cover their tracks. At least this grill is here. Rough cloth, badly charred, and bits of leather. Probably used as knee protection for work. Oil. Burns like the devil. No wonder there's barely anything left of the shed. Wine. Could Elijah have lost it here?
Don't come back! If you crawl back here, you'll get the strap. If you crawl back here, you'll get the strap. Keep snipping up out. Go on, get!
Right then. Where to begin? I'll start with the younger one. Muscle stiff, but the body looks supple. What's that in his hair? Oof. Better mind my fingers. Rigor mortis is wearing off. He can't have been dead more than a few hours. He He vomited up his guts before he died. Just like that old confessor. It's all clumped together. Looks like flour, or maybe lime. Yeah, it's flour. Ugh. Bruising, some dried blood, but no broken bones. Those bruises are odd. Regular. Almost perfectly circular. Looks like cupping marks. Someone might have tried to ease a fever or pain. He's young, but his hands are a mess. Covered in scars, nails broken, looks like hard labor. And 2 workers did go missing. That can't be a coincidence. I don't see anything odd here. Ribs intact, belly soft. No sign of violent death. Just his back and hips are badly scraped. No blood. Like he was dragged over gravel after he died. A few old scars. Gravel embedded in both knees. And blood around the groin. Barely dried. Could it have leaked out after death? Mixed with bowel contents. Bloody diarrhea. Like with the infection. Now for the older one. Pale, sunken eyes. Missing some teeth, though that might just be age. But that hole in his head is someone's doing. Small, round, clean, like it was drilled. I've heard of that method before, used in cases of unbearable headache or seizures. But who'd try that outside the infirmary? Completely stiff. Clenched tight. Like he was ready for a fight. Rigor mortis well advanced. Died long before the fire. Skin's badly scratched. And there's a thorn stuck here. Maybe a rose? Stiff as a board. But no broken bones. Back and shoulders all scratched up. Like he was dragged through brambles. And around his neck and chest he's got red blotches on the skin. Those blotches look familiar. They're a bit like the ones on that old confessor. Looks like this poor wretch caught the same thing. Knees are scraped and scarred. He must have worked hard in his life. Well, what's clear is they didn't die in that burning hut. More likely they succumbed to the infection spreading in the monastery. The symptoms match perfectly. Either way, it wasn't a cold-blooded murder. Someone tried to treat them, brutally, but still. And it didn't work. Someone must have hauled the bodies into that shed. And it left marks on them. It might be possible to trace where they came from.
Go on, find your master. crawl back here, you'll get the strap. Go on, find your master.
That's one deep rut. Whoever dragged them, the poor wretches gave him a rough time. Now I get what Elijah was talking about. Ugh. Whoa, that's disgusting. There's no other way. A cart and rose bushes. If he dragged them through the ditch, no wonder they were in such a state. Wheel tracks, headed that way towards the gate. Something's jammed in the lock. There's no way I can pick it. The tracks are clear. That cart was bloody heavy. The cart tracks lead to the herbalists. Maybe Joachim knows more. Poor beast. Who did this to you? What in damnation is going on there?
You said they were better. Were you lying or just that stupid?
They took a turn for the worse. It came out of nowhere, and there was no saving them.
And those books I got for you. You've half the monastery's library in here. Did you even bother looking at them?
I read every one, but I told you 100 times, I am not a physician. I don't know what you all expected from me.
You were supposed to use your head, damn it. Now everyone and their dog is sniffing around here.
I couldn't just...
I thought I made myself clear. They stay here, you don't leave, and nobody must know a thing.
But what was I supposed to do? Your master...
Provided you with everything you needed, and paid you generously. Or am I wrong? What about that fire? Were you just covering your ass, or planning to rat on us too?
They were infected. For the sake of everyone in the monastery, I did what had to be done.
Doing what has to be done. For everyone's sake. Dennis! Fuck you, whoreson! Too slow! Is it really worth it to you? Fuck you and your surrender!
I give up! Cart tracks lead to the herbalists. Maybe Joachim knows more. Poor beast. Who did this to you? What in damnation is going on?
You said they were better. Were you lying or just that stupid?
They took a turn for the worse. It came out of nowhere, and there was no saving them.
And those books I got for you. You've half the monastery's library in here. Did you even bother looking at them?
I read every one, but I told you 100 times, I am not a physician. I don't know what you all expected from me.
You were supposed to use your... What about that... You're in for an ass kicking, you piece of shit!
Did you?
He's gone. Hold on. I'll fetch help.
Don't trouble yourself, son. But please, stay.
No. No, I'll run for Albie.
Pray with me. The Lord will soon welcome me.
All right.
Yes.
Did you try to treat those poor souls yourself?
I did my best. On the orders of Master Zacharias, I tried everything, even against their will. But either the sickness had advanced too far, or I simply lacked the knowledge.
Why did you set the shed alight? Were you trying to get rid of the bodies?
Get rid of them? No. But should they rot under my roof? I only hoped the fire would consume them, and that'd be the end of it.
All right. And now the prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Oh, Christ above. Go with God. Amen.
God be with you. What do you need? God be with you.
To your health, my friend. Hopefully the worst is behind us.
May not a drop go to waste. You rats!
Hey! Henry! It was his fault those two died. He was the first to know about the epidemic, and he tried to keep everything hushed up. He blackmailed the herbalist to hide them and treat them at his place. And when those bodies were found, what did he do? He sent that lackey of his to get rid of him.
Joachim's
Dead. And that Dinesh of yours too. So now you kill me. Give me just one more reason. Albik, what is it?
If I were you, I'd hold back a while. For everyone's sake.
You poisoned him? Why?
Calm down. He's still breathing.
What do you mean, still?
Whether he survives is up to you, and whether you're finally willing to cooperate.
You're mad. You want me to help you? Now, after all this?
If you're looking for someone to blame, try yourself. None of this would have happened if you hadn't kept getting in my way.
Don't try that on me. I thought you and Albik were friends. He never did anything to deserve this.
Albik may not realize it, but half his shining reputation is thanks to me. Next to someone young and inexperienced, it's easy to look like a master. You saw it yourself. Even the Right Reverend didn't trust me. Me, royal physician to King Sigismund. But once Master Albik showed up, suddenly everything was different. And all he had to do was repeat the same things I'd already said.
So you only pretended to be his friend? All the while you looked down on him? Speak, traitor. What do you want from me?
I want Albik's closely guarded records on the treatment of King Wenceslas.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb. Albik spent a lot of time with him. I want to know what he wrote down.
So, it was you who turned our chamber upside down?
Me? No, that was Dinesh.
You swine. Albik confided in you that he had them, and you poisoned him so that...
I was hoping to frighten him. Maybe he'd give them to me for safekeeping. But the mad old fool went and hid them somewhere. So I need you to find them.
And if I bring you the records, you'll give me the antidote?
Not so fast. There's one more thing. Something King Sigismund himself would greatly value. Apparently, somewhere in this monastery, there's a relic from the Holy Land, brought here years ago by a knight.
And that's what those workers were after. But they failed.
Morons.
I've no idea what you're on about. Sigismund wants you to find some relic for him.
King Sigismund knows a legend of Sir Boleslav Bavor of Blatna, who brought a relic from the Holy Land to Bohemia. What he doesn't know is that Sir Boleslav was buried with it, right here in the monastery.
So you plan to present it to him on a golden platter? and hand it over in exchange for a medal and a fat reward?
Something like that. I have good reason to believe the relic is of great value to the king. Once you've got the relic and the records, come to the church. We'll meet there. And one last piece of advice. Hurry. The substance acts slowly, but the longer you make Albic wait, the worse the consequences.
And what's to stop me grabbing you by the neck, beating the antidote out of you, and dragging you to the abbot?
The fact I'm not a fool. I haven't got the antidote on me. So we can go to the abbot and spend hours blaming each other. Meanwhile, Albic will die, right here on the cold ground in a puddle of his own vomit. If he's to survive, we do this my way. Do we understand each other?
You miserable bloody bastard. I'll do it, but only for Albic's sake.
I expected nothing less.
Henry, the records, they're behind the scales.
What? What scales? Albic?